Coffee on, chaos managed. Let's talk. Today we're digging into something that sounds just a little bit like it came straight out of a satire headline. Free speech that isn't so free.
Right. We've got 6 people. 6, mind you. 6. Just 6. They're losing visas for talking smack online. And we also have reporters that are losing access to the Pentagon.
Oh, well, let's get into this then.
Yeah, just a little bit of chit-chat. So, all right, let's just do a quick little overview of what the deal is. The U.S. State Department recently, very recently, they, in fact, it was earlier this month, they revoked visas from 6 foreign nationals after those individuals had criticized conservative activist Charlie Kirk on social media post his death.
Yes.
So now, according to Reuters from October of 25, officials cited, and I'm quoting, behavior inconsistent with the terms of their visa, unquote, but offered no public specifics about
So we really don't know what was in the content.
You don't really know the content of it, because what you find that's online, you might find a snippet here and there, but the problem comes in understanding whether or not you're getting reliable information.
Well, and that therein lies the rub.
It does, because once this has happened and they choose to go after these people, so to speak, what ends up happening? Sometimes the social media sites themselves will have to pull that information, or those that posted the information might go in and change things. Because let's face it, people will copy and share things, and you can edit things. So who knows what the reality is, what specifically was stated, unless the State Department chooses to actually release the quotations. Because, there's a few things...
Which they really don't have to, because, what if that was national security or something? Well, we don't know.
Well, and here is part of the problem has to do with what's national security, what's not national security. Are we bucking up against our independent freedoms? And I realize a lot of people say, well, that's freedom of speech. You're trouncing all over it. But now we have to start digging a little deeper.
Well, but wait a minute. They're not U.S. citizens, correct?
Which is one of my things. They're not citizens of the United States. They are being allowed, they're giving a privilege, not a right, to be visitors to this country for one reason or another.
Okay.
But the other thing on top of it is the fact that apparently none of them were in the country of the United States at the time that their visas were revoked.
Okay, so they were being vetted by the U.S. They were being vetted to see if it was an acceptable person to
allow into the country in the first place. Well, definitely.
Okay, well, I guess that's reasonable. To me, that's reasonable. I wouldn't want...
You don't want every Tom, Dick, and Harry to come into the country.
Fly-by-night coming... Look at 9/11. Perfect example of what they allowed in the country.
Well, consider people...
And then what happened?
Okay, let's go back to when we used to have all this spying going on, okay? Back in the 80s.
Back in the spy days.
Oh, yeah, the spy days. Ooh, James Bond. But think about it. You had...
I want a spy pen.
You had foreign individuals trained up to impersonate Americans.
That's true.
To be able to actually meld into American society with it completely seamless.
And you don't think that still happens today?
Well, of course it does.
I'm betting you anything.
Of course it does. In the same respect.
James Bond exists.
Well, in the same respect, we're dressing up and we're going and playing Chinese when we can too. So
well, that's true.
It's war games. All's fair in love and war. So what's to say that the same thing isn't being continued on through, and these people are posing as
who knows what?
Well, to get the visas, that they are posing for as a student going to a college or a tech school or coming here as a foreign exchange.
Do we know the kind of visa that they were here on?
We do not.
Okay.
We just know that there are 3 types of visas that you can apply for, and they lovingly tell us it's an FM or J. So I had to look it up because I was sitting there coming up with, I could think of a few things that these letters might stand for.
Oh my.
Use your imagination. But actually, it has designations. An F designation simply means that you are coming here to go to college, an academic study.
Well, that should have been a C for college.
Or a U for university.
Oh, well, there's that.
We'll call it the FU one. Then we have M. M like Mickey Mouse.
For
This is your vocational technical study.
now, I would have thought that would have been tourists. Mickey Mouse tourist.
Well, with an M.
Wait a minute.
What?
That's technical?
Yes.
So we've got a college one and a technical one because heaven forbid we lump them all in together?
Well, we have to be able to track them because these schools are not one and the same, and they also, the duration are different too.
Okay, well, that
Let's
would
face
make
it, most
sense.
VOTEC schools you're going to go to, you're what there? Maybe 18 months?
Depends on what you're taking.
2 years tops?
Depends on what you're taking because some of them have continuing programs
Well,
that you could spend 2 years in there
they should have to
doing
re-visa.
whatever.
Re-up that visa.
Well, I think they do.
And then you've got your J, which is just exchange visitor program. So that's I think more of your tourist type of a thing.
Okay.
Possibly exchange students from high school. I don't know. Maybe those
Okay,
are F
but
as well.
But which one would fall into the people that are just coming to visit?
I think that's the J.
That's the J. So if you wanted to go from another country to our country, you'd have to get a J.
You'd need a J.
Okay.
It's almost like
Hello, I'd like a J, please.
the scarlet letter. Pop right on your forehead. You have
Alrighty
been
then.
marked.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, when you're talking about, well, what did these people say? There's quotes that are out there that you can find. And now whether these are 100% accurate,
Well, I was just
I
going to
don't know.
ask, how do we know if it's just a snippet?
you don't.
Yeah, see, that's an issue. How do we know?
We don't know. But, the things that they're putting out there. Because all we definitely know are the 6 nationalities.
There's 6 of them.
We know there's 6 nationalities.
Okay, so where did they come from?
We have Argentina, South Africa, Mexico, Germany, Brazil, and Paraguay.
Oh, so they're kind of all over the place. That's interesting.
It is. You could connect dots to some degree if you really wanted to. But, I mean, and a couple of their names were released, but I'm not going to even
I thought I
attempt
had
to.
read that there was one of them that came forward and said it's me.
I believe that is true.
Attention seeker.
Well, I don't know if that's necessarily an attention seeker. Maybe he was
do we know-
trying to get himself out of hot water.
Well, that's a possibility. Do we know what they said?
Well, from what we can determine from the little bit of snippets, and don't know if any of this has been altered, so take it with a grain of salt, so to speak.
Okay.
The individual from Argentina was supposedly said that he accused Charlie Kirk of devoting his entire life spreading racist, xenophobic, misogynistic rhetoric. And then he said that he deserved to burn in hell.
Did they ever listen to Charlie Kirk?
Apparently not.
Okay. Okay.
The South African called Kirk's movement white nationalist trailer trash.
Oh.
And then he mocked Americans that were grieving him.
Uh,
The Mexican said he died being a racist, he died being a misogynist, and that some people deserve to die. The person from Germany, they wrote, when fascists die, Democrats don't complain. The Brazilian commented, supposedly in all caps, died too late.
oh, wow. When you said the Brazilian, all I could see was Marty McFly. It's the Libyans! Marty!
When I said the Brazilian, all I could think about is somebody going and getting a wax. Zip! Ow! Okay, that visual.
And did that happen to any of these visa seekers?
Now that would be punishment.
Your punishment is a Brazilian. We'll give you your visa, but you gotta get waxed first.
Oh, it was so funny funny when you watch guys get waxed. I mean, just like having chest wax and stuff. No. Oh, well, okay. We're going off topic here.
Okay, that was that show, The Man-O-Lantern.
No. It was one of the episodes from the The Amazing Race. That's what it was. They went to, one of the stops was over in an Asian country. And one of the challenges was having to go and get a wax. And I think it got them an escalation in the thing. But anyways, it was guys that went and did it. And they had hairy chests. And oh my God, they screamed and cried like a little 2-year-old girl. It was so funny.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Back to our regularly scheduled program. Oh my goodness.
The Fruit Loops. Put them back in the box. Okay. The last one was the one from Paraguay.
Okay.
He said that Kurt was a son of a...
biscuit.
With other letters. Who died by his own rules. I don't know.
I'm thinking not.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't know. But do any of those really justify revoking somebody's visa? If these are the words that they said.
I would like to know, there's got to be more behind it than just those words.
I would think, because that's pretty lightweight to go to saying somebody doesn't belong. And I don't see this really as what I would say celebrating someone's death.
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
No.
I mean, I think the closest one was the one that said that he deserved.
Yeah.
That he deserved it.
Well,
I mean,
deserves to burn in hell, he said.
I mean, that's the closest to wishing harm on someone.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I just,
But I mean, when you're talking about the fact that according to what was said by the press in reference to the Secretary of State Marco Rubio and the Trump administration as well, they affirmed that those who glorify violence against U.S. citizens will be removed. Are these quotes basically glorifying violence against a person? How can you glorify violence against an individual if that person is passed would be one question. And
well, maybe they're looking at the premise of they said something, and we don't even know if that's the 100% total quote.
That's
we
true.
don't know what else is behind it. Could they have said something else? And even though it was about somebody that had passed,
True.
that leaves the door open to them saying something about
a living
yeah. people or group of people, or
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and consider that a lot of this goes back to the fact of securing our borders. Because let's face it, the previous administration...
it was a free-for-all.
It was a free-for-all. Just take everything down, let the gates go.
Come on in.
And we had millions of people. And it was, it's all this thing about the bleeding hearts crying, oh, boo-hoo, these poor people from these sad, sad little countries that are living under dictators and their lives are so crappy and they want to be with their families. And they're always just thinking it's only the people coming across the Mexican border, and it's just Mexican or Latino people.
We have people coming in all over the place.
Well, but they also had shown people coming in, they were not from South
they
America,
weren't
Central
Mexicans.
America, none of it.
No.
These were people coming in that were Afghani, Pakistani, Iranian, Iraqi, the list goes on, and Chinese.
Who are now buying up our land.
And they were just carte blanche. Here you go. Come on in, and we'll worry about figuring out whether you're good, bad, or ugly later. That's stupid. So
I agree.
This administration comes in, and they reassert the fact that we need to vet the people that are going to come here before they get here.
How many other countries do you know that throw open their borders and say, come on in, y'all? I mean, that does not happen.
Not usually. And those that have in recent history are all sitting there going, can you please take them back?
I was going to say, you look at what's happening over in London, and,
The UK,
you look at the UK,
France,
they're a
Germany,
mess.
Denmark.
And now you've got all these people that are uprising, and they're saying, we don't want these people in here.
Right. But, when you look, going back to looking at policy, because let's face it, we have to go according to policy.
Yeah.
First and foremost, we have to look at the idea of people saying, well, you're trouncing on freedom of speech. So let's look at what the freedom of speech means in simple English. Basically, it's telling us that the government cannot make up any laws that are going to restrict what people have the right to say, which is to include your opinion.
Okay.
You're allowed to criticize government and government officials without
those
ramifications.
people were giving their opinion. They gave their opinion.
And you're allowed to state unpopular ideas. And you can do it whether it's in writing, whether it's symbols, whether you're posting on Facebook, drawing pictures in crayon. It doesn't make a difference.
Can I point out that didn't happen during a prior administration when stuff was going on and
how many times did you end up in
Facebook
Facebook jail?
Facebook jail, or have our things.
Oh, that little thing
listed,
where that you got the
went
little
against
eyeball.
community standards.
You get the little eyeball that you were fact checked.
Yes, you've been fact checked.
They didn't like what you had to say. Okay, so yeah, there was censorship going on, in my opinion.
Well, and we got rid of that now. That's gone.
We did. But you also have to realize that there's a caveat that goes along with the freedom of speech, which basically says you cannot make true threats. So if there's a level of threat that's involved, it needs to be looked into.
Didn't Kathy Griffin do that with holding up
a Trump head?
Yes.
All bloodied and decapitated?
Yes,
Yeah, she did.
She did. That was a threat.
She did.
And nothing ever happened to her.
No, it didn't.
Double standard. This
not that she was ever that great of a comedian to begin with. I mean,
whatever.
Was she a D or lower or something on the scale of celebrity ranking? I don't know.
Be right on Disney? I don't know.
I don't know. But anyways, the other thing you cannot do is you cannot use defamation. Can't say things that are going to write things down that are going to hurt another person's character when it's not true. And you're not allowed to incite violence. So,
So a lot of these
Antifa,
people
BLM,
that are running around out there and making comments about
going and doing specific
whatever,
acts.
yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, in a way, you could read into that and say that you are inciting people to be violent. Especially when you see when they get there. Because yes, we do have a protected right to protest.
Yes,
but it has to be a peaceable protest. So that means you can't start riots and fights. And
so no breaking into anybody's store or looting or like burning cars or something.
None of that. No Molotov cocktails.
Good to know.
Other cocktails might be allowed, but Molotov no. Yeah, it is kind of ridiculous. And lastly, it's supposedly obscenity. I think that one...
Oh, that one went out the window.
That one left the harbor a long time ago because, I'm sorry, look at what's out there. You can't even walk into Walmart with your children and not have to cover their ears and probably put a mask on their eyes.
Oh, heck, you can't even you can't watch anything on TV.
It's ridiculous.
Without a bomb being dropped.
Well, I look at it this way. If the best you can come up with is vulgar language, that means you have a very limited vocabulary. That's simple. Anyway... So, when you look at these things, going back to the whole idea of freedom of speech and rights and whatnot, were they expressing a freedom of speech? First and foremost, they're not U.S. citizens, so freedom of speech...
Do they even have freedom of speech in their own country?
Does it cover? But when you just let things go in your country and you just allow anybody to come in without vetting them, which really, when you look at this revocation thing... If there's a subtle threat of violence against American people, you need to start looking into it. Because we don't know, who are these people associated with?
We don't know.
Organizations, groups, societies, regimes. You don't know.
Don't know. Lord knows there's enough of them out there. And again, when you start looking at what's going on in other countries,
right,
you have to be a little bit more particular.
Isn't it being proactive to start looking into things now? Because instead of waiting like these other countries just, wave the flag, the green flag, come on in, and then they're all sitting there going, oh no, what did we invite into our country? Exactly. They're now dealing with the repercussions of a very lax immigration policy.
And we don't want that here.
No, because they sat there and go, oh, these poor people, they're suffering. We have to let them in. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo.
But
you know what?
It's not the poor suffering people that got let in. It was the other people that got let in.
Because the poor suffering people can't afford to get there.
They've been trounced down by the people that are trying to come in.
Exactly. And the ones that are coming in What are they doing? They're wanting to change everything. They're
Yep.
wanting to change the laws. They're wanting to
Yep.
change the form of government. I look at it this
Treat
way.
women like
You know what?
prostitutes. I mean,
If you
just
wanted to come
awful.
to any country, not just this country, but any country that you choose to want to go to, because you think that their form of government, their lifestyle,
is the
everything
cheese and
is
crackers of the world.
it's just the bee's knees,
Yeah.
that's where you want to be, then go there and live according to their ways.
Exactly.
Don't go there trying to make it what you perceive it ought to be. And that's what I see happening in this country.
And that is a big problem. If you left because you had such a big trouble with something that was going on, you don't come here and try and make it what you left.
Well, not just make it what you left,
I
but
mean,
try to change it to something. We've even got people that were born here in this country. There are a number of them sitting in the Capitol buildings this day that are trying to get this big government thing, socialism and all this other crap. We are not a socialist country. We are a constitutional republic.
Amen.
Plain and simple.
Amen.
If you do not wish to live in that environment,
Go somewhere
pack
else.
your stuff and leave.
Go to a socialist country.
Go live in exactly. I'm sorry. This dude that's running for mayor up in New York City,
I don't even know how that's allowed because
He's
his
a-
thought process,
he
his ideals.
he classifies himself as a democratic
Socialist.
He's a freaking communist.
Yes, he is.
And he shouldn't be allowed. If
he
you are
should
not
not.
going to play by the rules of our government, you have no business holding a political position in this country.
How about they were looking into where some of his campaign money
yeah.
come from, and we find
Foreign
out that
stuff.
yes,
Illegal.
it's foreign stuff,
It's illegal.
illegally, and they've done
And they're doing
absolutely nothing.
No, he's still
nothing.
And then he's turning around saying that he wants to do tax the citizens of New York City 56% to support all of his social crap.
I mean,
Okay, well, I think we digressed.
Yes,
Sorry,
just a little bit.
Pulling the squirrel. Okay, so back to this whole thing with these visa revocations and the free speech thing. Yes, you have a right to make statements. You have to be careful with what you say, because if you speak incorrectly, there are stipulations.
Consequences,
There are
yes.
exactly like you say. You have the freedom of speech.
But you're not free from the consequences of what you say.
No, exactly. So if you say something and somebody disagrees with you, you're going to have to deal with the fact that you're going to have somebody disagreeing with you. We've got it going on all around us with the liberals versus the MAGAs. You can't say anything and have a conversation without somebody calling a name and whatnot.
Well,
and now you're getting beyond the ability of free speech, because
Yeah.
when you've got somebody name calling, you might be into slander and such.
Well, but there seemed to be a lack of intelligent conversation anymore without
there
throwing
is.
out
There is.
names.
But when you're looking at this idea where these, first and foremost, these were individuals that made comments that are kind of could be viewed as
Either or.
bad, really,
Yeah,
really bad.
it could
what
be.
they said, not nice, but you have to vet, and this has been our problem. We have had, millions of people that creeped over the border, and they've started going back into the vetting process. 55 million valid U.S. visa holders.
Wow,
That
that's
they are
a lot.
It is a lot. 55 million? These are people throughout the world, whether they're in country still here or if they're in home country. They possess a visa to come to the United States. These are now under review.
Shouldn't they be reviewed periodically anyway? Does your visa have to be updated or something? I don't know.
Well,
I think
you're
they should be.
you're only allowed here because one of the things that they are looking at is overstays.
Okay. So you're only allowed here for a certain period of time.
Yes, you are.
On a visa.
Yes, you are.
Obviously, I'm not a world traveler.
Oh, me neither. Been to Canada.
I've been to Canada. I've been to the Bahamas.
Been to
but
the
I
islands,
don't think
yeah.
that really counts, does it?
I don't
Does
think
that count?
Well, not when it's a U.S. territory. Okay. So, I mean, I guess that beat the hell out of that. So, all right. Well, we do get a little bit wordy here.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing about the people that are losing their visas, the visas because of their speech. So let's talk about the people that are losing press passes instead.
Yeah, and before we get into that, let's just take a quick break. So before we go full First Amendment here, nerd out and whatever, it's a quick shout out to the Budget Blueprint, Spending Less, Saving More, Living Better.
Yeah, because our books, they help you keep more of your freedom funding dollars in your own pocket. And you can find it right now at Cowchtalk.com, COWCHTALK.com.
Okie dokie, let's slide on in and start talking about this Pentagon stuff that's
Heading
been
into
going
third
on.
base.
Well, because that kind of goes in with this whole freedom of speech thing. So a little background, back in May of 25, the Pentagon issued a memo. They were updating the physical control measures for the press and the media access within the Pentagon.
Okay.
It said that reporters have to stay in designated zones. They may be escorted or could lose their credentials, maybe for violations.
Okay.
So the information that they're going to put out must be approved for public release by an appropriate authorizing official before it's released, even if it's unclassified. And then in September, they made this even longer. That was like a 4-page memo back then. Now it's a 17-page.
17.
Yes, it was.
Wow.
This internal expansion required reporters to sign a pledge agreeing not to publish unauthorized material. Anybody that refused to sign, well, you can just turn your badge in and clear out your workspace, which is exactly what happened.
But you say that they had to sign a pledge. Wasn't it just more like an acknowledgement?
I really think it was. I think that they were just needing to sign saying, okie dokie,
I'm aware.
I know what these new rules are,
Yeah.
and I will follow
kind
them.
of like terms of agreement that you get on website things.
Well, exactly. Sign
Okay,
here.
so what's
you
the
don't
big
get
deal?
it. Well, the big deal is they're saying that they don't have the freedom of press that they had before, because before, evidently, they were allowed to tool around and do anything and whatever, and now they're being slightly restricted.
But we're talking the Pentagon.
Yes, we are talking the Pentagon.
The epitome of our national military people. These are the people that are going to decide.
You mean those that protect the United States?
That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to serve and protect.
Yes, definitely.
The United States, its Constitution, and the people.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
from enemies, both foreign and domestic.
That's right.
Well, according to the DOD, the reasons behind all of the changes...
Leaks.
Well, security incidents, definitely.
Okay, so that technically that is leaks.
They said that there were several small-scale leaks.
Small scale.
And one physical breach that was tied into an outside contractor in 2024.
Okay.
Also, they cited modernization. They hadn't updated any access protocols in over 30 years.
Oh,
now,
my.
think about how much things have changed in 30 years.
Well,
how information is exchanged, how things are processed.
We have become so much more of a high-tech society in the past 30 years.
Yeah. So now think about that.
Well,
it's wow. One of their other big things was information discipline. Officials are claiming that there's too much unvetted material that was being quoted out of context from hallway encounters and overheard briefings.
Well, and see, that therein lies the problem. And this is why they shouldn't be allowed to go wandering around willy-nilly.
I agree. I don't think they should.
Do you want a stranger walking around in your house and peeking around corners and in dresser drawers?
And the number to the code is... What was that?
Okay.
What was that?
Here's the scenario. You're in the Pentagon. You are a journalist. Fresh out of journalism school.
I'm a journalist.
You got a big break with a great reporting agency.
Oh, I did. I worked for Great News.
You do.
I do.
And it's so much fun because
it's great.
You're the perky new one on the block and everybody just wants to help you.
They do. They do.
So now you get sent off to report what's going on at the Pentagon.
Yes.
This is your assignment.
Oh, I'm so excited.
You get a desk and your own little pencil.
Woohoo.
So
Can I bring a pen?
now you decide,
I want to
well,
bring a pen.
fine.
It
You're
has
that
a-
secure and confident in what you're writing, you can have a pen.
It has a tape recorder in it.
Oh no, it's James Bond again.
Oh, it is. It's Jane Bond.
And you're wandering through
wandering.
to your desk that is a room within the Pentagon with all the other press people. So you have to go use the restroom. And you get lost because the Pentagon's a big, confusing place.
It is, and they didn't give me a map.
Because it's shaped in a pentagon.
They didn't give me a map.
And you happen to go wandering down a hall, and you find yourself in a section that's really supposed to be for only high-level personnel.
Ooh, look, there's General Know-It-All's office.
Oh, it is.
It is.
And the door is slightly ajar.
Is he having a secret conversation?
He is. And you have happened to overhear a tidbit or two of very secret information.
I'm running with it.
You're running with it.
I'm running with
As
it.
long as it's not scissors, you're good.
Yay.
So you go and you take this tidbit of information that is
Highly classified.
secret.
Uh-huh.
And you go and spread it out there on your social media news site.
Oh, boy.
So now everybody knows, including our enemies.
Oh, no.
And you want to know why? Because you were allowed to roam with nobody to watch you.
Jane Bond wasn't restrained from
She wasn't.
restricted areas.
She wasn't. But you know, have you ever gone into any business and you walk by a door that says personnel only? Have you ever decided just to go walk in there anyway?
No,
No, neither have I.
that's because it's off limits.
Well, it's because we have a modicum of actual moral fiber and ethics that tells us we're not supposed to be back there, whereas I think some of these sneaky reporters lack that, especially if somebody offers them a couple of extra dollars or special box office seats.
Ooh, box office seats. Well, now, I'm going to say,
Okay.
many of the news organizations, they're refusing to sign the agreement
Well.
because they said it threatens their journalistic independence, transparency, and it could also function as a prior restraint on the press. So they turned in their badges and packed up their stuff and left.
But when they're talking a prior restraint, that means that the government can't go out there and see what you're going to do and rip it away from you and say, you're not publishing that. No, they're simply being told you can't release information that you don't have authorization to release.
Well, and they're saying that part of the problem is some of it is unclassified information.
But does that matter? It's not your information. That's no different than you having a diary that's unclassified and me go digging through it and I'm going to go print pages off and send them to every Tom, Dick, and Harry you talked about.
Well, most definitely. The policy does matter. It changes the access dynamic.
But we're talking national security.
When the press isn't freely moving inside the Pentagon, gathering information and following leads, what we get as the public may be filtered. However, go and look and see what the deal is with the White House, because no members of the press can wander anywhere in the White House unescorted.
You can't go on a military base and not go unescorted.
No, you cannot. Journalists
Good
are
luck getting
limited to designated press areas unless they're part of an escorted group.
Right.
Such as the press pool, covering events, specific locations, whatever. And the level of access is determined by the White House, not the press.
Yeah.
So why
is the Pentagon any different?
Why should the Pentagon be any different, especially when that is our national security?
Right.
That is what is protecting this country.
Well, there's too many people that are out there beating the drum for transparency and accountability. And though I agree that there needs to be knowledge, but could you imagine if military generals were to tell everybody in our country, okay, we're involved in this conflict. Picture World War II. We're planning the Normandy Day
invasion.
Beach
Yeah.
invasion.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to let all of us back here in America know every little detail about it. Let you know this is going to happen, what time we're going to load these guys up and get them over there, approximate landing time, where we're going to be hitting the beaches, who's on which beach.
So what would have happened would have been beep, 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 beep,
Yep.
beep, 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 because we know we didn't have internet back there. Beep, 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 beep. And they're learning all of this.
Hello.
One ringy diggy. People didn't get that, but
probably
that's
not.
okay.
Unless
Don't
they
look
were...
that one up.
Hello, Mr. Hitler. We are planning an invasion. There's an invasion planned.
Yes.
Those nasty Americans
We
and those
see it.
limeys
I
in
mean,
Great Britain.
They're all getting together.
There might be a Russian or two.
I hear
We're
there's
not
a
sure.
flotilla.
It will be in all forms. We're talking aircraft, watercraft. They're going to overload you.
So do what you gotta do. Oh, hail to the chief.
Heil Hitler. But I mean, seriously, this is the things you have to think about. We
Yeah,
have to keep certain information
It's
under
not
wraps.
as cut and
No,
dried
it's not.
as it's purported to be.
Right. Not to
By said press.
well, who is owned by the same 5 groups anyway.
Oh,
Hello.
goodness, that's a problem.
It is a problem.
Okay, so what is the takeaway from all of this? Do we sacrifice national security just to say something?
Yeah, right. So, I mean, we limit who we're going to let into our homes. Come on, we got security systems. We lock our cars when we're out. Hell, we lock them in our driveways.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there has to be some limits.
There does. So, we do have free speech, but we have to realize, there are caveats. And that as well, goes with hand in hand.
Well, and I totally agree. All right, folks, that's our soapbox for today. And whether it's a visa or a voice, we all deserve to speak our truth. We just spoke ours.
Yeah. Yep. And if the Pentagon's listening, hi! Thanks for streaming Cowchtalk on the government Wi-Fi.
We appreciate you.
Subscribe. Share with your friends.
And just remember, coffee is on.
Chaos managed.
And that's Couch Talk.